everybody. We're aboard Calypso. It's a 2008 Selene 60, and I'm here with Doug Kyler, owner of the boat. And hi, Doug. How you doing?
Hey, great to be here. First Trawler Fest, first time in the Inner Harbor, Baltimore, having a blast.
Yeah, rendezvous. We got 60 people here. Here's Winnie, who's in charge of the boat.
The Admiral.
Oh, the Admiral.
Yeah, right.
And we're going to take you through this boat today. This is an awesome boat. It's a 60 built in 2008, and it's a shallow draft version. So the draft on this is
About 5'6".
5'6".
Twin screw, so different than most Selene.
And most of the 60s, the draft is 6'2".
6'2", what I've been told.
So kind of a unique boat. Twin engine Cummins? Deere's. Twin engine John Deere's. And we're going to take you through the boat and show you a few really nice features of the boat and give you a quick look. All right, come aboard with us. So we're sitting in the back settee with a really nice table. We're three of us sitting here. You could easily fit four in here, but you rarely sit here.
Well, it's funny. We keep it covered, just to protect the cushions. And there's so many other cool places on the boat, primarily the flying bridge, that we just don't come down here. And it's not till you and I sat down, I said, I love this. Why not sit here more often?
Yeah.
I mean, if we had 3 painkillers right now, we probably wouldn't leave.
We wouldn't leave. We definitely wouldn't leave. Well, looking around, this is my first time on the boat, and just looking around, pointing a few things out. You've got the Dutch door.
Yes, sir.
Going in. Over here, you've got the steps up to the Flybridge. That's an option on these boats. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I didn't, but
We love that.
strongly recommended. Nice to be able to get up,
Yeah, it's for me. I think having those stairs back here, rather than having to go up and then inside stairs to get up on the Flybridge is really a benefit.
I mean, there's really minimal cost to the area.
Do you guys have a little storage over there too? So you gain a little storage,
And that's kind of aft line storage back there.
Yeah.
Unlike everybody, there may be a spare key hidden someplace in there, or
Exactly. Exactly. So you have 2 boarding doors, one on either side. Those are standard on these boats. And no teak decks.
No, this was last boat had teak decks throughout the boat, and I spent hours replugging, gluing, recaulking. I couldn't have been happier to find a boat without any teak. Obviously, everybody has their own opinion, but for me, perfect.
Yeah, and when you buy a used boat, you don't know what you're getting.
Now,
And if it had teak decks, would that have been a fatal flaw or not?
if it would depend on the condition.
Yeah.
If they were screwed teak decks, fatal flaw. I wouldn't have bought the boat.
Yeah.
If they were glued teak decks, we would have looked at the teak.
Yeah. So the teak we put on now, it is glued. They're not screwed, which is better, and they're really thick teak too.
Yeah.
But it's maintenance, and some people like it. A lot of boats we're doing have teak decks on the side and the cockpit back here, but not outside.
I think
and not
that
forward.
would have been the perfect compromise for me. I'm a traditional enough, a sailor. If we'd had teak decks aft, nowhere else, or on the from the Portuguese bridge down and up here would have been great.
Yeah.
But
So you were a sailor.
I am. I've spent basically my whole life sailing or racing sailboats on the east and west coast. And
Wow. All right. Well, I'd say 75% of our owners are sailors.
doesn't surprise me.
And it's just a natural transition into these boats. But you didn't transition from a sailboat into a Selene.
No, I didn't. I had a Fleming. Winnie and I had a Fleming prior to this. We absolutely loved it. Had it for 7 years, but there were certain things about it that we wanted something a little different. And growing older as part of that, the midship master was huge for us. A really important factor. We were talking a little bit earlier, the swim platform and the steps going down, the European style transom. I absolutely love. I don't
on this boat.
On this boat, the ability to get down easily without climbing over the top. For both small boat ops or everything else, it's just great. Engine room, being able to stand up instead of crawl.
Yeah,
it is huge, and hopefully we'll get down the engine room. Great lights, I can see, I can work. I love fixing things myself, and the boat's giving me the opportunity to do that. And finally, interior volume. It's
pretty.
This boat's 50% bigger than Fleming, that was only 5 feet shorter.
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, cool. Okay, let's move into the Salon. We're in the Salon on Calypso, this Selene 60 with Doug and Winnie, the owners. And the first thing that I noticed walking in here is the lighter wood, the cherry that is used in this boat. Selene will do both cherry or teak. Teak is typical. We're also doing oak.
Really?
And we're doing horizontal oak, which is really a modern look on.
Boy, that is very light, but grain.
Yeah, grain going across and set up and down. But this is beautiful. This is a more modern look on these classic boats. The cherry is really nice.
It makes the interior lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, and looking around, I mean, all of the woodwork is just amazing.
Pretty, yeah.
We were talking earlier, and I'm a amateur woodworker, by hobby or the way I grew up. I can sit in a chair and stare at joints or parts of this boat for half an hour more, just marveling at the way they've managed the grain, the way that they transition. There isn't a sharp corner on this boat. I can't imagine the skill, not carpentry, but cabinetry skill.
Yeah.
To put this together as finely as they have.
I am. You can't even see the joints hardly.
No.
It's it's just amazing. And then the other amazing thing is look at the ceiling. That's not just a plain headliner ceiling. There's a lot of work that goes into that ceiling, into all of the woodwork around here, all of the edges, everything's rounded. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. So this is a good size salon.
This is very comfortable. On Friday night, we're in Annapolis with a bunch of old sailing buddies.
That's trouble.
It was supposed to end about 8. It ended about 11. We had 20 people on board. The majority of them were in here, and it just was easy.
Yeah.
Took 4-ish, maybe in the cockpit, sitting at the table. The rest were in here, as they always do, kind of congregating in the kitchen or the galley, and the rest out here.
Around the beer cooler.
Yes, sir. But it just absorbed them. I was really impressed because we were worried about it beforehand.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. So again, that's that extra internal volume. It's a bigger boat.
Yeah.
What it is. I mean, this boat weighs 125, 130,000 pounds. That's a lot of mats.
Yeah.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, behind us is the galley. So let's go and get a little tour of the galley. We're in the galley of Calypso, and Winnie's going to give us a quick rundown of this galley and what she likes and what she doesn't like.
So I have a lot of room to make large dinners with, especially when we have friends and we have people over, like 20 people, and we can put a lot of things. I've gotten used to having small refrigerators and a little small freezer, and I'm beginning to love them as much, and because it is easy just to go run and put some stuff in there and another one. And
so these are drawer fridges and
drawer fridges, and they really look very pretty. And this one's sticking out a little bit. Okay, but anyway, so they're really nice, and there's a lot of room. As you can see, there are a lot of cabinets here, and then I like my cooktop.
So you guys have a propane cooktop?
Yes.
So that's a little unusual on these boats.
I love it.
Yeah.
So because I'm used to it,
Yeah.
And so, and the biggest thing is that this is so safe. First, you have to turn it off on top, and then you have a button you have to push there, and then you have to do this one. So you have 3 things that you have to do when you turn it off or turn it on. which makes you feel more comfortable having propane tanks. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I really like that. Yeah.
So where have you guys traveled with the boat?
We bought the boat. It was in West Palm. As only a year and a half. We brought the boat up in a very hurried trip because I had to get back to work from West Palm to Virginia Beach. We worked on the boat for about 9 months. I retired the 31st of December last year. We left on the 1st of January heading back south.
What? January 1st, you're heading south?
Well, we were dressed warmly. This was not
It was cold.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
At least not the first half. But we got down we basically West Palm, Stewart, waited on a weather window, jumped over to the Bahamas, spent some time in the Abacos, dropped down to Eleuthera, spent time there. Spanish Wells was a favorite for us. Then my all-time favorite, we got down to the Exumas and just bopped around the different keys down there.
Waterrig Wells?
Yeah. I mean, it was...
It's really special.
We actually were on a ball on the inside that narrow channel of Waterrig Wells, and I didn't really think about was at slack water with the wind blowing out of the east, the boat swung perpendicular to the channel, and I've got a picture of my buddy standing in this much water was like this, and that's how much water I had under the keel or the rudder before he ran into the bank at the end of that. But we solved that. So we're going back again this year.
Cool. That's great. That's great. All right. Let me also point out, this is granite.
Granite, yeah.
Yeah, so all the countertops here are granite, which is really pretty. Really nice.
Yeah.
And how about the storage back there?
Oh, well, it's not as, but we have a mirror. This is pretty funny. It has a mirror. Where would you find a mirror? But I love it because, so if you don't want to run down to get your, lotion or anything, you can just leave it all up here and then
You got a place to check it. And how about that drawer?
I use it to put other things in it.
Yeah,
Right now I'm using it to put all my breads.
Pull it out. That's
It's
huge.
long. Yeah, so I have all kinds of breads in here that
That's
we're bringing
huge.
with us. Yeah. And so it makes it really nice because none of them get squashed or anything. So
Yeah.
that's what I use with this one.
And behind that cabinet there, is it the same drawers or?
No, this one's entirely different. So we do have drawers, and this is where I keep all the spices, and then this one comes out.
And that's really deep too.
Yeah.
The volume.
Yeah, it's huge.
I don't know if you can catch that, but
it's very deep.
it's got a whole bunch of stack.
Yeah.
That big stuff that's hard to
Yeah,
store on the boat.
yeah. And up here is where, we just keep all the other stuff.
Yeah.
So we have a lot, and then we have all of these. So they're all in use also. And the little one over here, you can keep your coffee cups there.
Yeah. So this is one of the things that's really amazing about Howard and his designs of these Selenes is every bit of space gets used.
Yeah.
You have access.
Yeah.
Like these long drawers here, you don't see that on other boats. They just give you a little closet or a little drawer, and
Yeah.
So that gives you tons of room. How about out here? It looks like you got a curved.
We do. This is this is for all the liquor.
Oh,
So
there's the
it's
liquor cabinet.
Yeah, because over here is my which we call
All the wine.
on the wine.
Yeah. So how about making one of these curved doors?
No, not going to happen.
Oh, it's very pretty.
And,
yeah.
Again, I don't know if the camera can see it, but look at the grain matching that comes up. Look at, when they built this, look at the grain matching. It's 4 pieces, but they're bookended.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. That's really cool. All right. Anything else? How about the high ceiling here?
Yeah, that is a high ceiling. Yeah.
So can't do that on any other boat I've ever
Right.
been on.
So if you ever wanted to go up to high ceiling, you have a little thing to stand
Whoa,
on.
look at that.
So
So this is,
that was clearly built by Selene because
Yeah.
it's laid out and it's built the same way as the other steps are.
Mhm.
I laugh about it, but it's great.
Oh, it's great because sometimes when you're getting up here, all you do,
Yeah.
this is the most fun. Yeah, it's fun.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
So it just moves with you when you have to get up so high.
Price of admission.
Yeah. You didn't have to pay anything extra for it.
I bought that. The boat came
The
free.
boat came free. And you have a stone floor
Yeah,
in here.
it's
stone
very pretty.
sole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny things. So we have a stone floor and the two heads in here. So you're down in the Bahamas or you're someplace where it's hot. And you come in, you're barefoot, you run around a boat, and you stand on that nice, cool stone. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably didn't think about that.
No, I
but
doubt it, and I wouldn't buy it for that. But
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's go up into the pilot house. Doug's at the helm. Winnie's hanging out in her favorite place on the boat. There's a really nice settee up here in the pilot house. Doug, how do you like this pilot house?
So I spent a whole lot of time up here. I'm the designated boat driver in this relationship. I love it. I love. So let me tell you about our cruising day. We will, especially on the ICW, we will try to get underway at first light. So the wintertime, call it 7 a.m. So you'll hear the coffee pot, the 5 beeps. It tells you the coffee's done. And that's pretty critical. So my coffee cup's right here as we get underway. And half an hour, 45 minutes later, you start to hear some noise in the galley. And Winnie loves breakfast. So she will cook, egg McMuffins or something like that. And we're still chugging away down the ICW.
So you're driving and Winnie's cooking breakfast.
And the smell is coming up and it's killing you. And then everybody who's on board comes up and everybody eats here except for the boat driver and either swap out or eat in your lap. And that's how we start every morning when we cruise.
Yeah, so this nice settee here, you can fit 4 people here, right?
Easy day.
Couple couples, no problem.
Easy. Yep.
And then you got somebody driving. Yeah, it's great. And what a view.
Yeah, so we were joking about the cockpit seats. So the reason we're not there as much is because you get a beautiful view here, and depending upon whether you're bow in or stern in or what you have to look at, kind of dictates where you sit to get to enjoy that view while you're eating or drinking your coffee or just reading a book.
Yeah, that's great. And the view out here is 270 degrees.
Yeah.
You can see everything in the corner, those rounded corner windows. How do you like those?
That's an engineering marvel. I don't know how you build glass that thick and make that turn. And, something we haven't talked about yet. And I am not on the payroll. It sounds like I am, I think. But the stainless...
But you're part of the family.
The stainless steel work on this boat is a work of art. I don't know who does it, but if you look at the leg for this table, it's pretty. You could put it in a museum. If you look at the window frames, they're clearly welded, but they've been welded, ground, polished. The work is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and they do all that in-house.
It's just amazing. And we'll see it everywhere. The hatch going up to the Flybridge, we'll probably talk about that later. But
yeah, and that's besides the woodwork.
Yeah. I mean, so you put it together, and you have just a classic boat. And this boat's 2008, so 16 years old.
18 years old, looks great.
And, the interior is one of the things that really impressed us was it was non-molested. It looked beautiful.
Yeah.
The stainless is just beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, all this woodwork. Did you guys replace the upholstery?
No.
Oh.
No, the previous owner, or the second owner, he had he'd done a phenomenal job taking care of the boat.
Yeah. And again, you have the raised ceiling here, different areas here with the ceiling, LED lights. You got a hatch overhead. Oh, you got a nice handhold.
Red light with a dimmer
Red light.
down there. So nighttime steaming, really nice. You can shut off all the lights.
Yeah.
No, it's great. Very easy to drive. Great visibility. Relatively easy to dock the boat from in here if, depending upon where we're going or what the weather is.
So talk to me about docking.
So we have electric bow thruster, electric stern thruster, twin engines. Yeah, this boat is easy to drive. It's heavy, so it doesn't seem to blow very quickly. I got to admit, the first time I pulled into a marina and they said, you got to back in, I was like, all of a sudden the blood pressure goes up a little bit. And you're going, well, I think I can do this. But there are about 50 people standing around watching you with grade cards. But it's there's an old saying I heard, slow is pro, but the boat lets you go slow because it doesn't blow a lot, doesn't drift a lot. You just spin it around, back it in, and it's easy.
So does Winnie step off the back with a dock line?
Yeah.
So you step off the back, you get a stern line on, and then walk forward, and you thrust the bow in and tie off the bows.
So she's really got it down to a science where she'll put loops in each of the bow line and the springs, and she'll take a boat hook with her. And sometimes it doesn't take it. Sometimes I hear this clattering where she's thrown the boat hook onto the dock as she's jumping ashore with a stern line. But she'll walk up and just hook the bow line, cleat it off, hook the stern lines, the springs, and pull them in, cleat them off. And, once you get 2 lines on, and my job's over,
With a bow and stern thruster.
Yeah.
Just thrust.
I just walk down and help her, or if I got to thrust it in. I do have a remote control. It's a wired remote controller, but I can attach it up forward, which is really useful for anchoring and retrieving the anchor, behind the cockpit, behind the flying bridge settee, so I can walk all the way to the back end of the boat and back in if I want to, or there's another one in the cockpit so I can drive from there too.
So when you're backing in, do you use the remote in the back?
I don't, but it's not. I think it's because I'm just used to driving the boat from the flying bridge. We've talked about it a lot. We have little hands or, those wireless mics.
You have the marriage savers.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And what we've learned is how far off the dock Right. 2 feet. Well, there are a lot of differences in the definition of 2 feet or 10 feet, So if I were there.
So you guys just communicate back and forth?
Yeah, we talk. Before we will have a brief.
Yep.
I spent a lot of years in the Navy. You had a brief before you made any major evolution. So we'll talk about it and what information is most important, So if I come in, there are things I can't see. I need to know when my stern is clear of the boat behind us. I need to know if we're backing in, especially on the port side, because that's the side I can't see from the helm on the flying bridge. Have I cleared the piling or the pier? Am I safe to back in, or do I need to continue to go sideways where I can back in? And we try to walk through all those things before we actually execute. And, we're getting better.
Yeah. So I also noticed, is there a camera?
So there is a backup camera, and I've played with that. In my perfect world, I think Garmin came out with a new camera similar to what you put in cars now that'll show distances and.
Yeah.
If I could see the 2 corners of the stern and, by definition, the piers or the finger piers or pilings behind it, that would be nirvana.
Yeah.
This one doesn't do that.
Enough of that.
But what it does do, if you're going down the ICW, at least if somebody's going to come blasting by you, before he gets there,
right.
She gets there.
Yeah. Cool. So you're sitting in a STID chair.
Yeah. Oh.
That's the way to go.
Oh. So there are certain things I didn't know until I kind of got into this bigger boat world. Once you have a STID chair, you will, my opinion, never have anything else.
Never go back.
We have a STID chair and 2 on the flying bridge.
You get 2 STIDs on the Flybridge?
I'm telling you, that is the way to go.
Yeah. Because you spend a lot of time in there. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to fall out of the seat.
Oh,
And feel unsafe.
you can do anything you want with it, and
Yeah.
this one, I don't think this one has the cup holders, but it doesn't matter because
Yeah, because you got a big cup holder there.
that's stood chairs. I'd hate to buy them new, but boy, are they comfortable.
They're not cheap. They're not cheap.
Yeah.
What else do you want to show us in the Pilothouse?
First. Oh yeah. Ice maker here. That is that's borderline essential.
And it works.
Oh, it works like a champ. It no idea what the turnover rate is or whatever you call it on an ice maker, but that is one of the best things we have.
It's earned its keep.
It has earned its keep.
All right. Well, I see a little step over here in the corner.
Yeah.
Is there one over there too?
There is.
There is.
So, for those of you who do it, you can come here, go to this step, lift yourself up, slide right in that seat, and I don't know. I'm sure there was probably a technical reason they put it there. There's a wire run or a chase or something under there, but
Yeah, I wonder though, you've got that step down in the galley too. I wonder if the original wife, was really short.
I hadn't even thought we ought to ask Ian that.
Yeah. So that's the interesting thing about Selene's is everyone is different. And you guys have met Howard. You'll see him for the next few days and go talk to him. If somebody says, I need this, or how about this, or what do you think of this? He'll sit there and draw it up and say, well, how about this one? You're like, no, how about, move this, and he'll do it. Up to the point where he's changing things by half an inch.
Wow.
To make sure it's right. It's really amazing work.
Pretty.
And then major stuff too, right? Like, I don't want drawers over here. I want a cabinet.
Well, case in point, we met the owners of Blue Phoenix, the Selene 59 or 60 that's right behind us.
Ken and Nancy.
And they invited us aboard when we were down in Solomon's. And so the boat is, I think, 2 hulls different than this boat. The interior, it's a galley up interior instead of galley down. Completely different feel. I was kind of looking at it and going, I don't know, how do they do this?
Yeah.
I guess that standing joke, if you've seen one Selene, you've seen one Selene.
Yeah.
They're different.
Join us now. We're going to go up to the Flybridge and check out the Flybridge and the dinghy deck. We're on the Flybridge with Doug, checking out the Flybridge and driving from up here with a really nice settee behind us. How do you like it up here?
This is where we live. 70 degrees and above, we're up here. This is where we eat. Other than breakfast in the Pilothouse, this is where I drive from. This is where we'll sit and read a book. This is, as you'll see when you look around.
So you have a hard top, really nice hard top.
That was one of the probably must-haves in the boat selection.
Was a hard top, yeah.
Getting away from the bimini
and you don't have an enclosure because you're in the tropics most of the time.
Yeah, we go south in the winter. I mean, that's a interesting discussion, and maybe if we go north, we'll change our mind.
Yeah, but you can always drive from the Pilothouse.
So far, with rain coming up here, we sat in the Pilothouse.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
You still wear your short sleeve shirt in the Pilothouse.
I was wearing my short sleeve T-shirt.
You need a Selene shirt.
Yeah, really, I do.
All right, and behind us is a settee. How many do you sit in this? 8?
Lots. We had a family reunion on board, and I had 25 people on the boat. Find 25 life jackets. That's a different story.
Right.
The majority of them were all up here and either sitting around. I had the dinghy off, and we had lawn chairs back where the dinghy is. We had people sitting up here, sitting in the helm chairs. Easy day.
Easy.
And then I had my kids all diving off the side of the boat. But that's
That's great. Looking around, looking at these rails, the stainless work up here is incredible.
Look at this. It was welded. It came
somewhere.
There's a weld in there, but not.
Yeah. So those are all made in-house.
So the other thing that I'll throw in is this doesn't leak. Past boats, very pretty at a sliding hatch with 2 double doors, and they leaked. And, in the wintertime in a driving storm and you get rain that comes down into the steps and, now you have water inside your boat and whatever is going to happen with that.
Yeah.
Makes it tough.
Yeah. Really nice. Let's walk over to the passageway here, and looks like we have a nice big barbecue.
So,
and a bunch of storage.
Magna Barbecue, one of the neat things that the previous owner did is there's a gas bottle here, and this gas bottle is for the barbecue. There's behind the photographer, there are 2 additional gas bottles, and that's for the stove. So I wasn't sure how long they would last, but we were cruised for 4 months last year, and I came back with 1 full bottle still.
Wow.
They're really
good. And you guys cook a lot, too.
Yeah, Winnie, that's her hobby, is cooking.
And this is just like
storage area, storage bin, and then I got a small sink here.
Oh, you have a sink up here, too.
So.
Yeah. And then storage underneath. And then how about underneath the settee? Is there any storage there?
So storage all the way around, and it's probably too hard to show you. But one of the really cool things, if you pull this cushion up, there is a backrest in there, and then you put the cushion back on. So you can recline with your back at an angle like this and read a book or do whatever.
So do you use that?
My daughter does.
Yeah.
I mean, I get credit for that, though.
Yeah.
So beer refrigerator. I mean, not that we would drink and drive or anything else, but, it's nice to have it. And it relieves the pressure from those 2 Uline drawer systems, because there's, case of beer, whatever you have, It takes a lot of space.
Right. So what are you standing on,
Yeah, so, well, let me tell you, and you tell me if I'm right.
Yeah.
So this is the soft patch that if we ever had to remove an engine, you would pull this, you would pull the patch in the engine room, and in theory, you come straight up.
Yep, you got it.
Am I right?
You got it. Yep. In fact, this is one of the last things that they do is put the engine in.
Oh, really?
So,
wow, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, most other builders, they build a hull, they get the stringers ready, and then they drop the engines in, and then they build on top of it. So we don't. We put the engines in last. And a couple reasons. One, that makes sure that you get a new engine. So if you got a 2-year build, and you put the engine in when you first build the boat, then the engine's 2 years old by the time you get it. So that's one. The other is just so you do have access if you ever have to pull a generator out or an engine, you can do it.
I could tell you about pulling a generator. That's probably over a beer, but that was entertaining.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something, and I got to give the previous owner a lot of credit for this. So the rib is obviously stored here, and it's on 2 chocks. The chocks run fore and aft. They're removable.
Nice.
So I can lift them out, and he's got sockets on the side, so I can take out all the interferences and with the rib in the water, and if I move the crane so it's not interfering with the open deck, we have this huge deck. Then,
so are you a dancer?
I am not, but somebody was.
Is your wife?
No, but I think this is back to the kids or grandchildren.
Yeah.
He built 2 stanchions that plug in back aft, and we've got a shade that extends all the way aft. So it's just huge open space.
Yeah, that's great. And what kind of dinghy do you have here? And what size?
It's a 13 with a 50 on it.
50?
It's a, I should know this. It's new.
Yamaha?
No, it's a Tohatsu.
Tohatsu, 50 horse?
50 horse.
I think that is a Yamaha.
Yeah, I think I think 1 or 2 people build them all.
Yeah.
But it's great. And we went a little bit bigger to get away from the center seat.
so the dog could move back and forth.
Oh.
So without jumping over the top of you or me or my wife. But it's great. I mean, that's our car. This gets used every day.
13-foot. Does it hang over the back?
Just barely. I have the outboard trimmed down, and there's a wear plate right on the brake of the upper deck, and it sits right there, and then it's griped down forward now.
So that gives you, 3 feet of walkway in front of the dinghy, so you can get to the other side.
Yeah, and then, we've got a kayak on that side.
Kayak.
Racks for a kayak over here that, if you so desired, you could put a paddleboard or another kayak or something else.
And then your steps back down to the cockpit.
Yeah.
Really nice. Yeah, this is a great setup. Nice big settee.
Yeah, the other thing that I really appreciate, and maybe this is more common now, but I can launch the boat off either the stern or the port side.
Yeah.
So I've got the boom length. So I've never, very rarely have I been in a position where I haven't been able to put the rib in the water.
Yeah. So they used to put the davit here.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And it would only go off on one side. But now when we started putting it back there, we had to build a bunch of structure to do that.
Yeah.
That post right beneath it is critical.
Yeah.
But it gives you the 2 sides to launch your dinghy.
Yeah. No, it's great being able to launch it, so I can be in a slip and launch it off the stern.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, we're going to head downstairs now. We've been through the main deck. We've been through the Flybridge, and now we're going to go down and check out the staterooms, an engine room, and Lazarette. So follow us down. We're down below with Doug and Winnie in the forward stateroom. This is the VIP.
Yep.
On your Fleming, this was your master.
This was the master. Yeah.
Right, but on the Selene 60, this is your VIP room. It's beautiful, nice queen size. You can get around on both sides, not quite all the way, but you can still get around on both sides.
Yeah.
What do you like about this room?
So I from my perspective, there's a lot of storage under this bunk.
Oh, there's a lot.
And the hydraulics, work extremely well to lift it up, so it's not a heavy lift to get into that to store things. I think from Winnie's perspective, it's a little easier bed to make.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because it slides out, and our Fleming did not have a slide out, so you'd have to get up and around
and
put your feet underneath everything, and so it was hard. And now I don't have to worry about it as much, and so that makes it really nice.
Yeah. So when your guests come to visit you, can you get rid of them?
Well, the last couple were here for 2 months, but they were great friends though. So it was.
Yeah. The neat thing is you can take, move this, and then you can just look up at the sky. And so sometimes that's fun to go, sleep. We can go.
Bahamian stars.
Yeah, look at the stars. So that's nice to have that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, this is great. Tons of storage all the way around. There's cabinet storage. Cabinet under there, and then underneath the bed. And even in the step on either side, there's storage.
And then you've got forward water tanks right under here, but there's huge storage if you want to drop down.
You can almost live down in the bilge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's great.
And 2 hanging lockers.
2 hanging lockers, and then some more lockers below it. Yeah.
And what you won't see until maybe we flip around is a private entrance into the second head. So
this VIP stateroom has a private entrance into the head. The third stateroom, the guest stateroom, shares the head, but they have an entrance from the hallway.
Right.
Yeah, nice.
So it's kind of best of both worlds if you're only going to have 2 heads on the boat.
Well, I sure would like to be a visitor.
Between the space and Winnie's cooking,
it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right. But yeah, let's head down the hallway. We'll go to the third stateroom.
Okay.
We're in the third stateroom. It's bunks. The upper bunk actually pulls out a little bit. You get It's not quite a double, but it's good size.
Yeah.
And the bottom is a single. And then behind me is a desk. And these are the Selene chairs.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
When I say beautiful, these are all hand built.
I got to tell you, there were 2 chairs on board the boat. I took one home, and that's my office chair at home.
Yeah, they're really, really nice. A nice desk with nice inlay. Then you got some cabinet up here and some kind of mirror. Again, just beautiful woodwork throughout the boat.
Yeah, it works. It's my office and my dad's stateroom. He is reserved the lower bunk.
Oh, is that right?
So it's
Yeah.
affectionately known as Pop's stateroom.
Yeah. So how much work do you do down here?
When we're cruising, I'm retired, but I'm not. So I need to check emails, and I work maybe an hour, 2 hours.
Oh, nice. But what I see right here, this is
Starlink.
Starlink. Yeah, everybody's got it.
That is God's gift to
Amazing.
connectivity.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a world changer.
Oh, absolutely. We had coverage. We lost coverage for probably 20 miles between Florida and the Bahamas. But I picked it right back up about 15 miles off. And the whole time we're in the Bahamas, the Exumas, the Luthra, that area, we had coverage. Working like a champ.
That's great. That's great. All right, we're going to go back to the master stateroom, so follow us back. We're now in the master stateroom on Calypso with Selene 60, and it's just awesome. You got a full walk-around queen bed. You have tons of storage all over the place. All the woodwork is as beautiful here as it is throughout the rest of the boat. The sculpted area above the bed, it's just absolutely beautiful. You got your own little reading lights above your head, padded headboard. Yeah, it's just really, really pretty. And then behind Winnie is the master bathroom. What do you guys like about the master stateroom?
So, hon, what do you think?
What I like about it most, a wonderful bed. It is very easy to get in and out, and I like that. I think it's just a beautiful bedroom.
Yeah, it's really comfortable.
Very comfortable.
Really comfortable.
It is.
I love having all the storage, and we can bring all of our clothes.
Easily.
Yeah.
That's great.
Kind of sacrificed the third hanging locker just for general storage. We have so much
Because
space.
you didn't need it for
We didn't need it.
clothes and-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super.
But this is, I've been on boats with bigger masters, but but why? This is
Right.
perfect for us. I can walk. The bed is easy to make. The area under this whole bed is storage. It's full of spare parts for the boat. It really, does very well, I think, balancing the limited space with what we were looking for.
Yeah, and it's midship.
Yeah.
And on this 60, you have the utility room behind the master, right?
Yeah.
So when you're running with this door closed and you're sleeping, what's the noise like?
I really don't hear much at all.
You don't hear much at all. It's amazing.
Yeah. You honestly don't hear much in the utility room.
Yeah.
It's, we don't run that fast, 1,600, 1,700 RPM, and it's quiet.
Yeah. So you can come down here underway, go to sleep, take a nap.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
Take a nap, take a shower.
Take a shower.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to go behind me down into the utility room and then into the engine room. So follow us down. We're in the utility room on Calypso. It's directly behind the master stateroom and directly in front of the engine room. Engine room's to my left or aft, and the master stateroom is to the right or forward of me. There's a great little room. They have washer dryer. There's a washer there, dryer up on top, and then there's a freezer, storage, and behind us is a full sink and access to the stabilizers. So you guys don't really have much clutter around here, but there's tons of storage around here. That's why you're seeing everything behind the doors, because there's so much storage. Outboard on the port side is an electric room, and we'll have a little video of that electric room. We're not going to go in there, but that's where all the battery chargers are, and inverters, and also access to the stabilizer on the port side, and also another freezer down here. Okay, we're going to go into the engine room, so follow us into the engine room. We're in the engine room of the Selene 60, and this boat's a little unique. It's got twin engines, twin 6.8 John Deere's, and I'm going to let Doug kind of walk you through what he's got here in this engine room. It's awesome. Nice bright lights and easy to access. You can see I'm standing up, and I still have, a couple inches, 2-3 inches above my head. So it's probably a 6-foot ceiling here.
Yeah.
And looking up, you can actually notice where the soft patches are if you had to pull these engines out. But yeah, Doug, give us a little.
Sure. So twin engines. Realize there's many people as there are opinions on singles versus twins. I've always been a twin engine guy. I was looking for twins when I bought the boat, and this worked well. 60-68s. We cruise somewhere between 7.5 and 8.5 knots, and basically get about a mile a gallon at that speed. 2 tanks, 900 gallons each side. So you do the math, that's about 1,800 mile range. I could stretch it if I needed to, just slow down just a touch. The Raycor system, one for each engine with a dual filters and a dual filter system for each generator. The Westmar stabilization system, the storage tank right there, the control head, and then of an attached hydraulic pump on the starboard engine. Port engine has an attached power steering pump for the steering system. As we continue to work aft, 2 Northern Light generators, 12 kW, 20 kW. What we've found is the 12 kW will run everything except multiple air conditioners in the water maker. So we'll shift to the larger generator when we're doing that. Otherwise, we tend to run with a smaller generator. It's simple. What I appreciate is I can bring a little stool or a kneeling pad or something else. I can work on the engines. I can get to things. I can get to the through hulls. I can get to the sea strainers for the mains or the sea strainers for the 2 generators or after the engines. And doing that general preventative maintenance is relatively easy.
Yeah.
Everything's accessible.
Yeah, that's a key. It's nice and clean. You've done a really nice job keeping this boat really sparkling clean.
Thanks. It's a lot of work, but
yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah. But when it's easy, you're not crawling around on your knees. You take better care of it.
I've got light. Once again, Selene, to their credit, these polished stainless steel engine rails.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
It's the first time in my life I've actually come down in polished engine rails, but they're so pretty you can't let them deteriorate.
Yeah, and where the mounts are, the
engine mounts are heavy. They did a nice job. You get a workbench on top of the big generator. I've got some filters stored there right now and some generator spare parts. And on the starboard side of the boat, we've got 2 ACs. And that's an interesting point, that engine rooms got AC.
Yeah, that is an option. Do you run the AC when in the engine room?
The only time we run it is when we're working on the engine. And when you come down here and, they've been running for a while, it's warm.
Yeah, it gets
to have a little cold air blowing on you it's pretty luxurious.
Nice.
It is luxurious.
Yeah, that's an option for all of our boat builds to do air conditioning in the engine room. I personally think that it's a great idea.
I would have never bought it, and now that I have it, I wouldn't ever not have it.
Yeah, that's great. So stand-up engine room. There's also a fuel polishing system back there, and all your heat exchangers are on the back of the engine, easy to get to.
Easy access.
Yeah, so really nice. All right, we're going to head back to the last part of the boat, Lazarette, and show you around back there. We're in the Lazarette now on the Selene 60, and we're standing up, and there's, 8 inches above my head. So there's probably, 6'4", 6'6" headroom in here.
Yep.
Really nice. And this Lazarette has been set up as really a workroom, and tons of storage. There's a tool chest here. The water maker, 60-gallon an hour water maker is back here. There's a couple air conditioning units, hangers for the dry suit and some lines and all sorts of stuff back here. Oil and the steering gears back here. What else back here? That's pretty basically storage and some mechanical stuff and
so you got the Glendenning paracord retrieval system back there.
Yeah.
You have batteries for the stern thruster back aft, and really everything else is kind of storage, either tool storage or part storage or fluid storage.
Or fishing
pole storage.
That's the most important thing.
Well, if we never caught a fish, it would be. But
I gotta go fishing with you.
I definitely need somebody who knows more than I do to go fishing.
All right. And it looks like also on this boat there's a escape hatch.
Yeah.
So if you can't get out this way, you can get out through the cockpit underneath the settee. So this is the footwell of the settee.
Right.
And this is actually the settee that gives us this extra space to be able to stand up. And then looking around again, the quality. You look at the handrails.
Look at the handrails. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this hinge struck.
Yeah. All built
polished stainless steel in a Lazarette, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
That's the one place you could get away with not having it perfect.
Yeah.
It's a work of art.
And then you see the Selene deck plates around, and this boat's really nice.
Well, Howard's proud of his boats.
He is. Parting shots. What do you think of your boat?
I love it. So, year and a half into this, I very few things I'd change. I'm still learning the boat. I really appreciate the fact that I've been able to do almost all the work on it. That doesn't mean I don't call the experts to get advice or to get parts, but generally speaking, I can get to things. I can work on things. The boat has been extremely reliable so far. Knock on wood, engines have been extremely strong.
Well, that says a lot about you taking care of the boat, too.
Well, I appreciate that, but you got to start with good bones.
That's right.
But it's a phenomenal boat.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks for joining us on Calypso, a 2008 Selene 60 with Doug and Winnie. We're really happy to have you guys as family, part of the Selene family, and look forward to seeing you a lot in the future. Of course, at all the rendezvous, no matter where you are, even if your boat's not here, you should come to the rendezvous.
We'll come visit.
And come to West Coast Rendezvous, too.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that portion of the country.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, both sides of the country has amazing cruising. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on our next boat.